G'day there, Ray Corcoran here. So I'm going to do a quick video today. Scott Morrison a couple of days ago has just announced the super home buyer scheme as part of the Liberal Party campaign launch that has just happened. Just a disclaimer, I don't care about politics, so you can argue in the comments between yourselves, but I personally don't care. I think politicians on pretty much every party are idiots, and I'm not personally interested in it. But I am interested in property and property prices and things that could affect property prices, which is why we're going to cover this. So they've announced the super home buyer scheme in Brisbane the other day. So basically how it'll work is you'll be able to pull some of your super out to buy your first home, and they're trying to address the housing affordability issues that are happening in the country at the moment. It's very hard for people to buy their first home, and it seems like it's only getting harder. Now, a lot of people do argue that first home buyer grants and that sort of stuff actually add more to the problem rather than helping the problem, and it ends up with causing prices to increase and not decrease. And I personally kind of feel like that this probably won't help the situation, and I'm keen to hear what you think as well. Let me know in the comments. But basically, it'll be so you can see in the article here, first home buyers will be able to use up to 40% of their super, up to $50,000, to put towards buying a home. And the Liberal Party saying that this would reduce the time needed to save a house deposit by 3 years on average. But it's kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're gonna forego you're gonna disrupt your own superannuation to go buy a house. And for me personally, I don't see the point in people already have in my opinion insufficient super balances for retirement, and you've got stuff like women who statistically have lower amounts left over in retirement, and this is just going to make it worse for everybody basically when it comes to their super. And they're basically saying that if we get re-elected, then we'll institute this. And again, I'm not like politically one way or the other. I literally don't care. I just focus on my own life. But the scomo is saying that he's going to be able to help housing affordability by doing this. And an interesting thing is a number of people, Liberal Party people, were actually against the idea and have been vocal about it. And I think a lot of people are just thinking this is kind of insane. A lot of people are saying that this is a desperate last-ditch effort to sort of win back the public. Obviously, ScoMo has been getting hammered in the media lately and over the last couple of years. And to be honest, I haven't been following it close enough to really care or know the details about how good or bad he is. I don't personally have much of a strong opinion on it. But he's trying to pull out everything. Housing affordability is going to be a big issue in this, and inflation and cost of living is a major topic at the moment, and will be for this election. So whoever can sort of address that probably will be in a good position. Is this the right solution? I don't think so. There's a whole lot of other issues in terms of like supply of new housing in Australia. So I don't think this is particularly a good solution personally, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts. But they're saying that would start on the 1st of July 2023 if they're re-elected, and you would have to live in the home for at least 12 months, and there's no age, property or income thresholds. Now, the Shadow Housing Minister, Jason Clare, said it was the last desperate act of a dying government. And yeah, I don't, again, I'm not political, but it does feel like that way to me. And I definitely agree when he says it's going to add fuel to the fire of house prices. It kind of feels like every policy is designed to prop up the housing market and keep it booming and keep it pumping. And for someone that owns properties, obviously it's good for me. But I still don't think it's not good for people to enter the market. I'd be more than happy to have slightly less than amazing growth if it means that others can enter the market as well, and it's a bit more sort of fair for everybody. So you can see, and they kind of talk about some of the other stuff that he covered there, but in the speech. But overall, I think it's not particularly a great idea. A lot of the people that can't get into their first home also won't have that much super anyway. So I think the people that need this, need to get into the first home, they're not going to be able to use this as much as maybe Scott Morrison and his party thinks. So it will be interesting to see how it all pans out. I don't think this is an effective solution, and it seems like a lot of people are against it. And I think it's a misstep personally for him to be offering this, because it's kind of saying that, hey, you can just take some of your own money and pay for it, and you can just and I think that you can actually be able to it was new in existing homes, and whatever amount is invested will be returned to your super when you sell the home, including the share of the capital gain. So it's interesting, like if people end up selling it, it goes back to super, but if you don't, it stays out of your super, it seems. Maybe I'll be wrong, maybe there's more details coming out, but it's it's interesting. So if you end up living in the house, you're kind of reducing your super, but you can control it, I guess, yourself in the short term. So we'll see how it pans out. I just thought I'd do a quick video on this today because I thought it was an interesting policy to pull out quite last minute, and I think it's a terrible idea. I think there's other things in terms of addressing the housing crisis and that sort of stuff. But I guess we'll see how it all pans out.